It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Jags and the football team on EA Sports.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, everybody loves to see the deep ball. We know that. We got a couple of quarterbacks here who can really sling it. Trevor Lawrence and Carson Wentz.
I like your point there, partner, because it is back in vogue. And what I mean is taking the shots downfield, because for a long time in this league, it was all about precision passing, the West Coast offense. But now we've got a couple of guys here who'll take some shots downfield, and they have some receivers who can go get it.
Slide, the kicker, stands ready, and we are underway from FedEx Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Lawrence to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Montez Sweat in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a 1st down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Alex Erickson. Ooh, with a juke. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes, tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Now Wentz. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Patterson. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now Wentz to try again after the pick six. That's out to the flat for Gibson. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll make it a second down. Now Wentz. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier. Reeled that one in.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
81.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Wentz now to throw. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and short.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Back to the ground with Gibson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st down, Wentz. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing is Wentz. And he's got it. And he's brought down.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the 1st quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal and a chance to make amends for the earlier pick 6. They'll try to run with Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Seven, our score after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking downfield for Jones. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
To try again after the sack, Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with Etienne. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Lawrence to throw. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. As a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards, so many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Dwayne Smoot. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw complete there to Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 18. From the red zone now, Wentz. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Devon Hamilton. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Chase Young able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts?
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Right there. 54, right there, right there. 54.
Here's Wentz to throw.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Wentz. Thomas brings it in. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency. But in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward. Meanwhile, for Washington, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Now it's Patterson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. He gets it to Thomas. So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Tressway now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Lawrence will throw. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Two things you can do in that situation: run it and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Josh Allen coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Gibson here running out of the gun, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give running right, Gibson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Wentz. That one is slant to McLaurin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson, and just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second and 8 coming up. Working from the gun, Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point. That's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Now Wentz. Caught on a slant. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And Washington has taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Now Joey Slye for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Joey Slye now to kick off after the touchdown. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On first down, Lawrence. He completes it to Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. But now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Here comes Erickson. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their 35-yard line. Play action. Now Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Wentz. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Oh, what a move. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Now Etienne to start the drive.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Now Lawrence.
Finds his tight end Ingram.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. He targets Ingram for another grab.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get this off to Etienne.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. The carry here for the big tight end, and he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down into 4th quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out 1st downs.
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Fourth down. Here's Lawrence. And Ingram hauls it in. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts in the middle of the field. That should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about. Coming out of college, you're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw. Wentz. Pass complete. Samuel. And it's a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Oh, that's me.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a tee for them. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Right now, right now. Now's the time. Don't give him nothing.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Another tote for Etienne. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Etienne. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
Bring it up. A gain of 4 yards. And the Jaguars first down.
Now here's a timeout as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So there was a little meat on that bone, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now it's Patterson.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.